I'm back. I took a little bit of a break, but not really. I took an accidental break. What happened was I plugged in my VR, it crashed the computer, the camera wasn't working, I couldn't get the camera to work. So what I did was factory reset the computer, switch the room around. I needed to switch the room around anyways. It was too small for what I was doing. We have MISFITS 19 and we're going to do the predictions for that for this one. It's not been a fun week for me. Enough waffling for me for 2 minutes. Let's get into the predictions for this fight card. This fight card's been having a lot of issues lately. I don't know why, but let's get right into it. We have Amir Anderson versus Niraj up first. I think Amir Anderson is MISFITS' prospect, up and coming. I think he's going to win. Pineda versus Swarms. I did a video about this whole fight card. I just didn't release it because the mic didn't sound good. And it doesn't sound good now, I know, but than what it was before. Pineda versus Swarms. I like both of these guys. I feel like they've both improved massively since they first was on MISFITS. Both lost to KSI and now they're fighting each other. I feel like Swarms has had the best comeback. He has improved massively and I think Pineda wins because of the experience, but I think Swarms is going to make Pineda go into deep water for this fight. Chase Diamore versus Kells. Kells, I think, has been knocked out. Chase Diamore looks like he's improved a little bit, finally. I'm still not a fan of him, but I think Chase Diamore wins, because this is for the vacant heavyweight title belt, because Tempo Art's retired for some reason. I don't know anything about Tempo and why he's retired. Then you have Lil Cray Cray versus Yachty Gang TV. Again, this is the rematch. This is the third time. This is the trilogy. First one was a bomb threat, so it got called off. The second one, it was a Yachty Gang TV win. And I think Yachty probably wins again, but this is going to be the most skilled fight on the card. Then you have Nick Lamal versus Warren Spencer, who was originally meant to be face Swingler. Swingler's off. Warren Spencer looked okay on the pad. I'm seeing a lot of people go, this guy looked good in that. He looks alright. Nick Lamal, I didn't see any pad work from him, but hopefully Nick's improved, and I think Nick probably gets this done and then fights Jay in the future. Next up, Jarvis versus Ben Williams. Ben Williams has looked good, except he's kind of decreased in his past few fights, but he still looks good on the pads and stuff. That doesn't really translate much into the fights. Jarvis, he's looked alright. Jarvis is currently your title holder at welterweight. I'm probably going to edge it to Jarvis, but Ben Williams is probably going to be someone not to look over. I think Ben Williams is going to bring a lot of troubles to Jarvis, and Jarvis might struggle a little bit. Next up is Deji versus Wood Savage. I don't care for this fight. I like Deji. I'm a huge fan of Deji. Deji was the first person who I ever went to go watch box. Like, his card versus Alex Wasabi was the first ever boxing match that I went to. Sucks to see that he's fighting a guy who's 0-5, but maybe Deji can get some experience out of this and that's what's going to be worth it, but Deji should really sweep this guy up real quick. Next up is Messiah Warrior versus HS Tiki Toki. I'm reading that apparently this fight is 87% off, so this fight is probably off by now. Do not care for it. I didn't care for it. I'm not a fan of HS. I think he's a scumbag, so I just couldn't care less about this fight. Also, Mams is putting him on the pedestal. Ever since the Dana White John Jones thing came out, Mams Taylor thought he should do it and done it with HS. I don't get the whole thing about HS. He's shit. He doesn't look good. And yeah, we move. So that fight's off now, probably. Next up is Salt Pappy versus King Kenny. This fight, we had 2 contracts sent out. One to King Kenny saying 6 rounds, and one to Salt Pappy for 5 rounds. Salt Pappy had been training for 5 rounds. Kenny had been training for 6. Salt Pappy was told he's getting paid for 5. Kenny been told he's getting paid for 6. I think the whole back and forth thing about that was stupid, and whoever sent out those 2 contracts is a moron. They both should have been sent the same contracts with the same pay and shit. Whoever has the name should get more pay. I don't really know how it works. I don't care. But again, it's stupid how you're giving one person 5 rounds to train and one person 6 rounds to train. Obviously, they can train as much as they want, but one is training for specifically 5 rounds for the fight and one of them's training for 6 rounds. It's a bit stupid. They've agreed on 6 because they've done a coin flip, which I think was a shit way of deciding how that goes. In my personal opinion, should have been 5 rounds because Salt Pappy had been training for 5, not 6. King Kenny had been training for 6, not 5. And people are going, oh, well, if Salt Pappy's a pro, he can easily do 6. If Salt Pappy's as good as he says he is, he can easily do 6. It's not about that. It's about how much he's getting paid for the fight. Also, how much he's trained for the fight. So I think that's a bit stupid from normal people not understanding. And then finally, you have GIB versus Slim. The whole KSI forcing this whole beef between him and GIB in my opinion, is cringe, because Gib's been there with him from the beginning. Like, yeah, I support him. I get people are like, oh, he's trying to hype up the fight. He's trying to build a fight with him and Gib if Gib wins. I get the whole thing of, you know, Gib attacked Misfits, like saying, I'm going to destroy Misfits. I'm coming to be the best. I get that. But I still think it's all cringe from JJ. He backed you from the beginning, and the reason why, even Gib said, the reason why most of the shit that happened between him and Misfits is Mams Taylor. Mams Taylor gave him disrespect online and made it all public, and Gib was just like, I'm having none of that. So the fact that KSI is getting involved kind of leans me to Mams Taylor going, crying like a little bitch to him, being like, yo bro, he insulted us. When he didn't, he insulted Mams Taylor because Mams Taylor's being a little bitch. As Mams Taylor normally is, right? Mams Taylor's always complaining and shit. And Slim, I don't get why Slim and KSI are dapping up like they're boys. If Slim wins, I don't want the KSI fight now because you're dapping up like your boys. Like the Gib versus KSI, again, I couldn't care less for that fight. I want to see Gib win. I want to see Gib go on. I'm going to support Gib. I think Gib gets it done. The fact that KSI is dapping up Slim shows that he's possibly afraid of Slim. Like he's like, yeah, I want to fight Gib, not Slim, man. Like keep it real. He was your friend, and now he's not your friend, but he's never been your friend. But last I checked, he was your friend, and now he's not. I don't get it. But our whole KSI thing's just, it's just immature. It's just acting like a 4-year-old for no reason. And people are going to be like, you don't get it because it's building a business. It's doing this. It's doing... No, it's fucking childish. It is childish. Grow up. KSI's coming out here spouting shit. That's what he's doing. And that's what he's always been doing, man. I'm kind of getting tired of it. It sucks to be a fan of JJ this year, man, because whenever he gets called out for something, he cries about it like a 4-year-old on Twitter. And yeah, he complains that, oh, it's always Twitter. Twitter's the issue. It's you acting like a 4-year-old. So grow up. You're 30 years old. Yeah, apart from that, that's my predictions for the video. I'll catch you at, I think, 3 p.m. UK time, maybe 3:50 p.m. UK time. Depends on when the Misfits card starts. You'll see on my channel, it'll be in the live section where it'll say premiere in then. But apart from that, I'm going to bounce and I'll catch you all in a bit. Take care and peace.